What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, today's video again brings us a lot of information. I have to say that we have more and more information in regards to the second problem that happened back in 2021 and in 2022 in regards to TRCH original shares. And on top of that, I will show you that we have to diversify, we have to separate these two problems one from another. And definitely a lot of MMTLP community members might be involved in all of them, in both of them. That is why, guys, watch this video till the very end, because it is very important for you personally. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. So, let's start with this news, with this update. John Burda reposted the tweet that was published by Scott Trott, and if you don't know who this person is, he wrote a letter to Charles Schwab, and I covered it several times in my previous videos, but this is a very important call to action. So, let me quote it for you. If anyone can point me to post or message me, I need incidents from December the 9th of 2022 to the present, where FOIA requests or either the SEC or FINRA for blue sheets or audited share count in MMTLP were answered in any way, shape or form. I need hard copies of the denials basically. It will be extremely useful under Loper versus Raimondo to see what citation they hide behind. Also, please check your original trade data on MMTLP and see if your first trades were in one market maker or exchange and any secondary or tertiary trades were routed to another. I need to know where the red lines go. I need dates on these. All Schwab shareholders, I need affidavits from you detailing that Schwab was not going to allow you to trade again, no matter if the two trading days were reinstated in buy to close out short positions. All this needs to happen by Monday, folks. And guys, it is very important to have this information and to give this information to Scott Trott by Monday. We have not more than just several days. So, let me go further. As the timeline gets tighter, I will need to fill in some blanks. And yes, I'll be asking for equitable tolling on my claims and everybody else's from the US District Court judge to freeze the statute of limitations issues for all 65,000 gringos who got burned in this by an entity organized under the laws of the US government and by an act of Congress to ensure fair and open markets, but in pattern and practice of conduct functions, if this is possible, in a more corrupt, predatory fashion than the Sinaloa cartel controlling drug trafficking into the United States. We all need to understand the jiu-jitsu nature of what the bad guys have done for us. By not answering questions, obfuscating or burying us in 636,000 pages of documents that somehow have MMTLP in them and therefore making data gathering burdensome by FINRA unwittingly provided the legal capital to us, in my layman's assessment, that will allow us to kick the can down the road and preserve our claims and criminal compliance into early 2025 and what appears to be a new administration that may be in Washington, D.C. with a new SEC director and a new US Attorney General. But I'm still going on offense next week. Again, think strategic, act tactical, and get your American on. So guys, definitely we have to help Scott Trott, and if you have this information, please contact him and give all this information to him, because it is extremely important to have this information in order to switch the focus of this problem from this administration to the next one that will be in charge next year, from the very beginning of next year. On top of that, Scott Roth also wrote this tweet 14 hours ago. MMTLP, if anyone in the MMTLP ecosystem knows who this is, please ask them to DM me. Account doesn't exist anymore or is shut down. Got this off Reddit. And as you can see, Cover Cat wrote this back in June 27th of 2023, basically 1 year ago. And he said, TD Ameritrade said that I could acquire 20,000 shares, but no more without a steep fee. I called their bluff and offered to pay the massive fee, and they basically told me that they didn't have enough in their allotment to send everything over. So guys, if you don't know what does it mean, let me show you that a CAT transfer is the transfer service that allows you to move securities like stocks, bond, mutual funds from one brokerage to another. And this means it was an attempt to transfer shares from TD Ameritrade to another broker, potentially maybe even to AST, but this attempt was denied. And guys, this is another potential evidence that TD Ameritrade has share imbalance on their books and they are deeply in oversold position. That is why they couldn't do this action back in 2023. On top of that, guys, let me show you some responses to this tweet. Jessels21 wrote this 10 hours ago. Maybe reaching out to this person could be helpful. And this person, let me show you in details the name of this Twitter account. Simba Sara wrote this back in December the 8th of 2022. MTLP just got off the phone with TD Ameritrade. They received note from DTC yesterday evening for people to call Mark Komonoski, IR at MMAT at this phone number. Great news! TD Rep was able to state that 1.8 million shares are short via TD Ameritrade. More may come from DTC, but squeeze is coming. And guys, this tweet, as I already mentioned, was made on December the 8th, at the very beginning of this date, basically at 1:34 a.m. And this means it was the tweet before the U3 halt. And yes, we have a lot of evidence of the illegal nature of U3 halt, and we have to push this case forward. But the second problem that appeared just recently is the problem of pump and dump. And it was mentioned first of all by Mark Basile. Unfortunately, he deleted his Twitter account entirely, and we cannot, basically I cannot contact him in order to receive some information that might be helpful for us. But in general, I have to say that the most recent space call that was hosted by Junk Sebi, right after which Mark Basile deleted his Twitter account, I think it was an overreaction from both sides, from the side of Mark Basile and from the side of Junk Sebi. I have to say that a lot of people are extremely nervous because of the latest updates, and unfortunately, we all have to stay calm, and we have to calm down in order to preserve our health and in order to have more power to push our case forward. But yesterday I showed you in my video that one of the potential pumpers was Roman Soups, and if you don't know who this person is, he is an MMTLP shareholder, but his opinion is not so popular inside among the MMTLP shareholders from our community in general, because he thinks that we will not have any resolution, and we have not any chances even to receive some preliminary results. And right here you can see, basically on my yesterday's video, I showed you the tweet that was this set of tweets that was published by Run It Back, and it was a screenshots where, let me show you right here, where Roman Supes tried to pump MMAT shares back in 2021 and 2022. And here is the answer of Roman Supes. He wrote this tweet 10 hours ago. Roman Supes' Reddit account was not me. It looks like one of the MMTLP minions thought it would be funny to impersonate me on Reddit and post buy and other pump narrative. Now this account is mysteriously deleted. If you will have screenshots of what this imposter was posting or any information on that profile, let me know. But guys, take a look right here. Run It Back wrote this in response to Roman Supes' tweet. He said 3 hours ago, he wrote this, MMTLP. Bro, you literally replied to me 3 times in that thread back in February 2023, admitting that you would get blackout drunk and go pump MMTLP on Reddit. If that wasn't your account, you would have just said that to begin with. But you didn't. Take the L and move on. And here is the screenshot that proves this statement. Roman Supes wrote this on March 28th of 2023, and he said, I must have been really wasted. I used to get blackout drunk, then go on Reddit to try to pump MMTLP. I guess it worked, but nobody paid attention when I said to sell. Oh well, next time. So, yes, the second problem for now is the pump and dump, and you know that we have to diversify these two problems. First of all, a lot of MMTLP community members lost their money because of the huge volatility that happened back in the days on TRCH, on MMAT and MMTLP ticker symbols. And this activity is directly related to potential charges that some people inside the MMTLP community were paid shills who tried to pump and dump MMTLP, MMAT and even TRCH shares. But the second problem is we still have the EU3 halt that was implemented, in my personal opinion, illegally. And we don't have any results for more than 18 months till this date. And that is why, guys, we have to separate these two problems. And in my opinion, the major problem for now is definitely the EU3 halt. Because even if you take a look retrospectively, there is not so many people who lost their money during the volatility on TRCH, on MMAT and MMTLP, because a lot of original TRCH shareholders bought these shares in order to invest in their own future, and they didn't intend to sell these shares until the fact that Orogrande Basin should be discovered and some of major players on this market could buy this entire project. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. This is the post that was published just yesterday by Trader Zero, and it is quite interesting post. Let me quote you this in details. John Burda knew in early 2020 that TRCH was in severe financial trouble. He sold all of its revenue-generating oil and gas assets, and all left were leases on a handful of early-stage exploratory properties. He kept pumping the Orogrande project, falsely tying it to the Permian Basin and claiming it had more oil than 5 of the top 10 oil-producing countries in the world. The land is undeveloped, has no proven oil and gas reserves, and covers significant acreage far removed from existing proven geologic formations. Only a few big specialized oil and gas companies were possible candidates to buy it, and of course, they wanted nothing to do with it. He created a preferred A series dividend, not to give value to his shareholders, as you were told, but to pump the stock price so he could unload shares from his ATM shelf and pay off the Strass Trust, McCabe, and himself before the merger. Palikers wasn't taking on TRCH debt. It is illegal, contrary to the BS being spewed by the loudmouth liars. This is not a GameStop who took advantage of an organic volatility pump caused by the re-emergence of Keith Gill. Any comparison to GME is asinine. There is no comparison to explain away this fraud. The SEC issued wealth notices, which is not mandatory. They did this to tell Burda and Trapped NBA shareholders that their evidence on Burda was severe and substantial. Whether Burda or Polycores responded to the wealth notice is still being determined, but the strength of the SEC's case is without question. Emails, text messages, and internal memos show a timeline of fraud and deception that should be denounced by everyone involved in this MMTLP fiasco. The cognitive bias on display has reached a staggering level. Rather than concede that everything they have said in the past was totally fabricated, they are doubling down. They tell you this has nothing to do with MMTLP trading or your holdings in NBH. The SEC complaint has everything to do with your situation. The short squeeze was a fabricated manipulation of retail traders and TRCH shareholders that directly resulted in trading the A-series shares and the decision-making of those who waited until the last minute based on the post from Burda and his paid promoters. You can't continue to blame FINRA for your losses because they initiated a halt in trading. This stock had developing evidence of insider fraud, ambiguous instructions from MMAT on the conversion, and the company in turmoil because Burda's scam theory was thwarted by brokers who decided to legally adjust the open short position into NBH, and an option Burda clearly didn't account for. There is no share imbalance, there is no naked shorts, and there are no unsettled trades. NBH has filed documents with the SEC stating that all shareholders of record who held MMTLP shares by the close of the trading on December 8th were issued shares of the NBH. 165 million shares were issued by AST and were in the book on December 14th. NBH is not tradable, and all shares of MMTLP that were on loan are now on loan in NBH. After December 14th, there has been no trading of NBH stock. There is no possible way to create more than the initially issued shares. A share count could be easily ordered by NBH, but they have bigger fish to fry. They are about to lose a class action suit and will be implicated in the coming SEC complaint, exposing more fraud from within. So guys, I have to admit that this is extremely severe charges, and I have to say that Trader Zero has to respond to some additional questions. First of all, if there is no share imbalance, why in the world authorities don't want to disclose the share count itself? Next one. What was the real reason why MMTLP shares were U3 halted 2 days prior to the date that was determined in the corporate action? Why we still don't have any explanation of this fact? Why this U3 halt is still on the table? Why in the world no one from the authorities explained all this gibberish that happened back in November and December of 2022, and even in their own corporate action that was the result of the violation of Rule 6490, and why in the world they didn't explain their gibberish in FAQ that they published in March, and they published it twice because one of them was also quite miserable. And I have to admit that the second one wasn't a better version of the first one. And we have so many questions, but in general, for now, we have two separate problems. One of them is the pump and dump scheme, and I have to say that it is extremely severe problem, but it is related directly to the times when the MMTLP, TRCH, and MMAT shares were tradable back in 2021 and 2022. And the second problem is the U3 halt, and the real problem is still on the table, and we don't have any any results, any updates, even from the Congress members who signed a letter and who asked several times Gary Gensler to disclose the results of this investigation. That is why, guys, we have to be extremely focused on the main goal of our case and subscribe to my channel in order not to miss the next video. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack.